The Iranians, first of all, we have to understand that they've been very open about what the consequences of actions will be. And so far, they haven't bluffed. This is a death sentence for Saudi Arabian oil, for United Arab Emirati oil, Kuwaiti oil, Bahraini oil. Any nation that played a role in this, and you can say it was an Israeli attack, but it was, as you say, coordinated with the United States. The United States is at a minimum culpable and complicit. So all the Gulf Arab nations that did this are going to pay an extraordinary price. Now, maybe the Iranians will make an example of one then tell the rest to, you guys got to get this to stop, or else we're taking everything out. We're not doing. If the next attack, we take everything out. But this one, Saudi Arabia, I'm sorry, you lied to us. You let American airplanes in here. They need to erase Saudi Arabian energy manufacturing. If they don't, then their energy is now going to be erased, and that's the goal of Israel. Because what's happened. The reason why this decision was made is that this is proof positive that both Israel and the United States now know that regime change is impossible, that the Iranian government is going to last this conflict. And so what they're doing right now is ensuring that the Iranian government, what they govern, is going to be poverty-stricken. So they're seeking to do permanent, long-lasting damage to Iran's ability to produce gas and oil and energy and achieve income derived thereof. And Iran has said that we're not going to be the only nation that goes down this way. So I think this is the beginning of one of the biggest mistakes made. But again, now what we've seen is Israel is creating the conditions for global catastrophe. I mean, when is the world going to realize that the biggest single threat to the entire world is Israel? Israel just did something because they're such a pathetic nation. They did something that's going to have ramifications globally. China will be impacted by this. India will be impacted by this, because it's not Iranian energy that's being attacked. It's going to be regional energy. It's all related. So this is a very bad development, very dangerous development, very disturbing development.
Iran has issued an urgent warning to Saudi Arabia, to UAE, and various points, Jubail, they call it Jubail complex, they call it Samref refinery, and in the UAE, Al Hassan gas field. And together with Qatar there is a missile complex that they call it, and is affiliated to the Chevron. And 2 places in Qatar, 2 places in Saudi Arabia, 1 in the UAE. And they said that they're going to hit, and anybody who's living nearby should leave the region.
They should. I mean, this is consequences, cause and effect relationship. And I'm actually glad Iran is going to do this, and I hope they hit them hard. I hope that when they finish, this isn't just a token. We're blowing up a few things so we get nice photographs of flames. They need to terminate the energy production capacity at all these facilities, because then what they need to say is, this is what we're going to do to everything if this happens to again. This isn't, tit for tat. You don't get to take out one of our fields and we take out one of yours. We're taking the whole damn system down. And they need to prove that now. Maximum damage done to these facilities, take them off the face of the earth, and because that's the only way you're going to wake people up. That's the only way. My gas went from $3.11 2 Mondays ago to $3.79 today, and it's going to be it's going to be. I bet you it's $3.85 before the day's over. I remember last time I went through one of these, I would go in and watch the gas station change the price throughout the day because that's just the way it is. This is the only way you're going to wake American people up, European people, the people of the world up, is by hitting their pocketbook, because they don't care about Iranians. Nobody cares for the fact that to kill Ali Larijani and his son, they took out an entire city block. That's a war crime. It is the literal definition of war crime. This is what the Nazis did. And yet they did it, and we're bragging about it, saying, yeah, it's a good thing. Nobody cares. So you're not going to impress. Hell, we bombed a school, double tapped a school, killed 175 girls. Nobody cares. That's how disgusting we are as human beings. We only care about ourselves. Okay, Iran, now it's time to hit the buttons to make us care about ourselves. Bring the pain home. You clearly didn't get to our hearts because we have hearts of stone. No tears shed for those girls, no tears shed for the 100 people that died, so you could say you killed Ali Larijani. Not recognizing that killing him doesn't change a damn thing. That the institution still exists. There are people to replace him, and he just goes down as a martyr, motivating the people who replaced him. Take out the oil fields. It's time for Iran to put the pedal to the metal and take the damn oil fields out. The other thing I would do if I were Iran is I would tell the nations that we're getting tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, no more tankers. We're complete shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz. We're bringing the pain. And it's time to bring the pain. And if India goes, "What? We didn't do anything," you say, "Yes, India, you did. You didn't do a damn thing. You didn't do anything to stop this. You still have good relations. You're still talking to Israel like they're your brothers. They're not. They're the people that are murdering us every day of the week, and you want us to do business with you?" It's time for Iran to play that card. And they need to tell the Russians and the Chinese it's time for the Russians and Chinese to step up their game too, because this is going to have a dire impact, especially on China. China's looking at their future right now. There's going to be a big old hiccup right now, because even if they start buying energy from Russia, you don't have the ability, you don't have the throughput capacity to get all that energy there. China, and Iran has to say, "Sorry, brother, I know we're sort of hurting you, but hey, Pete Hegseth says there's 1,000 places in Iran that go boom a day. What are you doing to stop that?" Nothing. So you need to do more. Otherwise, as we go down, so do you. But they need to bring the pain. The other thing, by shutting the Strait of Hormuz, it ends once and for all the notion that the United States, right now, by the limited traffic, you have the United States claiming that it's because of them. We did this. We're the ones that sat there and made the Iranians say, we might as well let some traffic through because America's right there threatening us. No. What Iran did is prove that they're in control. Only Iran decides what gets through the Strait of Hormuz. And right now, the Iranians need to decide that nothing gets through the Strait of Hormuz. Nothing.
Scott, Saudi Arabia and all these Arab states are in some sort of panic. Saudi Arabia, will host a foreign ministers meeting in Riyadh today. And the Turkish diplomat reported on that they're going to have Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Egypt, Jordan, Kuwait, Pakistan, Qatar, Syria, and Turkey all together coming in Saudi Arabia and the UAE. We know that Azerbaijan is so much important for Israel. I don't know if Iran would do something in that direction, or all these countries coming together would make some sort of move in that direction. And how do you see all the capabilities of these countries?
To do what? I mean, the thing is, as Saudi Arabia hosts this meeting, they're going to lose an oil field. How's that feel, Saudi Arabia? And as the UAE sends their representative, they're going to lose an oil field. And Qatar is going to lose a natural gas field. This is the reality. So what are they going to do? Come together and tell what? We're going to threaten Iran? Hey, dude, they're already losing 1,000 points on the map a day, getting blown up by America. You're going to bring in your pathetically small military and make it 1,020? You think the additional 20 targets you can hit a day is going to change what's going on? I mean, this is the pathetic reality of these Arab nations. They have sold their souls to the devil. They have sold their soul to the devil. The United States and Israel calling the shots. And now they're going to come together to do it. If they don't come together and say the one thing that has to be said, America, get the out of our neighborhood. Get out. You're done. We're done with you. You lied to us. You betrayed us. You set us up. All this is because of you. And Israel, stop. Or see everybody here, count the bodies. Count the airplanes. We'll come in and we'll erase you from the planet. It's time for nations to step up and just tell Israel, remind them how small they are and how pathetic they are and how inconsequential they are. Israel right now is shooting its load into Iran, and they're blowing up some places on the ground, but they're not changing anything. The missiles still come in and hit Israel on a daily basis. Hezbollah is slaughtering Israeli troops in southern Lebanon. I mean, go ahead, Israel, mobilize 450,000. They'll all die too. Hezbollah is better at this business than you are. You're on their turf, and they will slaughter you, and you don't want to fight. That's the other thing, is the Israelis don't believe in this mission anymore. They only believe in it when it's pain-free. It ain't pain-free anymore. There's a lot of pain attached to this. So they need to put the pressure on the right places. They need to put the pressure on the United States and on Israel. If they try to put any pressure on Iran, what does Iran care? I mean, what are you going to do? Kill the next Larzani? Kill the president? I'm sure the president cares. I don't think he wants to die, but Iran could care less. They have institutions. This is about it. You're fighting a nation. You're not fighting individuals. And so, and as opposed to the majority of those people gathering, those are families. Those are monarchies. They're not nations. Most of the people gathering there are the heads of, families that run countries, but they're not part of the nation. The nation didn't vote for them. And these are corrupt individuals who have, robbed their own people blind to enrich themselves. And so when they come together to speak, they're not speaking on behalf of the people. They're speaking on behalf of their own selfish interests. There's only a few nations where you could actually say, Erdogan, I think, speaks for the Turkish nation. Jolani, what does he speak for? Who's they going to send? Another head chopper? Again, none of the Gulf Arab states are democratic. None of them. They're all these autocratic, corrupt, morally corrupt, and economically corrupt individuals who the world would be better off if they didn't exist. And maybe that'll be one of the consequences of this war, is the erasure of these corrupt families that were put in place by the British. None of them earned this. They didn't come in. These aren't people that came in and went, hello, we've discovered this great country and we're going to lead by being intellectually sound and morally correct, and we're going to build things. They came in and chopped heads off, and one day a camel went out and pissed in the desert and some oil came up. They went, that's not very good tasting. Why don't we hire a foreigner who's smart? And in comes the British and the Americans, say, that's oil. Well, what do we need to do? Not a damn thing. You just sit back there on your camel in your tent, smoke your pipe, and we will bring the oil out of the ground and we'll throw some money your way and then we'll take it. And that's how it got developed. These guys didn't do anything. They didn't do anything except chop off some heads. Other people developed the industry. Now they've inherited it and they have this structure in place where they make all the money. Ask the UAE, though, what's the percentage of Emirati people in their military? 15%. 85% of the UAE military is mercenaries, mainly Pakistani. They don't know how to fight. When they build a building, are the Emirati men out there rolling up their sleeves, getting sunburn, constructing? Hell no. They're in an air-conditioned office, fat, smoking dope, and spending oil money. Other people come in and do the work for them. These aren't good people. These aren't good nations. They don't stand for anything worthwhile. They hide behind a facade of intellectualism. We've built the new Louvre in the Middle East. The UAE built that Louvre lookalike. What's going to happen when all your oil fields are blown up and you got no more money and nobody's coming to your stupid piece of desert patch? You have no water because the desalination plants are going to be blown up, and that building's going to be empty. Nobody's going to visit. Is it a Burj or whatever? The one that Tom Cruise jumped off of or climbed. That'll be empty. Making those little palm islands so you can see from the sky, look down on it. That will be eroded away because nobody will be maintaining it. And that'll happen to all of these fake little desert countries, because when they lose their energy, they lose everything. They've got nothing. Dubai had a banking industry. That's gone. Think the expatriates are going to hang out in Dubai from now on? That has been exposed the way it is? No. They need stability. Long-term stability, and these Gulf Arab nations can no longer guarantee long-term stability, and so it's over for them. This is a panicked meeting that you're going to be seeing in Riyadh right now, a panicked meeting.
Scott, you mentioned the desalination. Do you think that we are headed toward desalination plants? Because that could be a huge catastrophe for the whole region. And Iran doesn't suffer from desalination if that goes, the escalation goes in that direction. But we know that the Arab states, together with Israel is dependent more than 75% on desalination plants.
That's one of the last steps, because now you're talking about the erasure of a nation. Without water, you've got nothing. And there's no plan B for water. There is no plan B for water. And so that's the next step. And I believe at the end of the day, if these nations don't stop doing what they're doing to Iran, Iran will erase them as civilized nations by destroying their desalination plants. If I were the Iranians, I would actually take out Israeli desalination plants now, right now. End Israel right now. Just end it. Just take it out. End it. Israel might have a plan B. They might be able to ship in water because Europe, no one's going to let the Jews die. So they're going to ship in water and all that. Fine, but that'll be their life from now on. Foreign sources of water, tankers pointing off, Israeli people, lining up to get, like Gazans, to pump water into their pot to take home, and and all that. Good. Make that Israel's future. No more running water in pipes. Blow up the desalination plants and eliminate it. And Hezbollah, go ahead and take Shabbat Farms and shut off the Jordan River source. Cut it out. End it. Make the Dead Sea dead. Make Israel over. Israel needs to cease to exist. It is literally the cancer on the planet. And Iran could do that by blowing up desalination plants. I think they might want to give the Gulf Arab states another shot. But at some point in time, you at least pick one. I'd pick the UAE because I just hate them. Erase them, blow up all their desalination plants, and make the country disappear. All the expatriates will leave, all the foreigners will leave, and then those UAE Bedouins, well, that they'll have to sit there and do what? Do what? Drink oil? Good luck. They deserve it. And this is hopefully what they're talking about in Riyadh is we're screwed. We're screwed. We're heading toward the apocalypse. And again, when they say they don't care about their people. They only care about themselves, about their family, about the monarchy. I really enjoyed reading about what happened to the Hashemites in Iraq. I'll let the people Google that to figure out what I mean. But I don't really mean that because nobody wants to see families hacked up and dragged through the streets. But, when you take these families that have no legitimacy whatsoever and you put them in charge and they are this corrupt, maybe they need the Hashemite solution, Baghdad version, which could become the Hashemite solution, Amman version, which would be nice. And it could be the solution in Bahrain. You really want Khalifa to stay there, this fat nobody? I mean, he's so corrupt, so despicable. The family's been despicable. They were a joke when we were there as weapons inspectors. I could tell you stories that would make your hair curl. Go talk to the Gulf Air stewardess. There's all the Gulf Air stewardesses out there who spent time on the Sheik's beach and got recruited to go in and do his little things. You know what I'm talking about, Gulf Air stewardesses, because you did them. Why don't you start telling people what really happened? How despicable these people are. Despicable. And yet they govern and we treat them like they're some sort of, somebodies. They're nobody. They're stupid. They're ignorant. They're corrupt. And they are morally deficient human beings. And yet they sit there and live and make all this money and everybody comes rolling up to them and treating them like they're God because they make money. Well, they're not going to make money anymore if Iran erases their energy. And then the world will see these people for what they are. Pathetic losers. I'm fed up because it's there to blame. People are like, Scott, what do you got against the Gulf Arab nations? Everything. I got everything against you because you're to blame. You caused this. You allowed the United States to come in and create a Sunni Shia split. This isn't Iran's fault. This is your fault. You all bought into it. And you played the game where you allowed the United States military to come in and then you enriched American defense industry. I mean, look at this straight out bribery. Remember Donald Trump's first term and he went over and danced a stupid sword dance with the Saudis? Straight up bribery. Said, we're going to buy more American weapons as if this is what makes a relationship good. Well, Saudi, how are those weapons working right now? How secure are you right now with all those weapons you bought? UAE, how's that missile defense stuff work? I mean, you can put out all your bullshit numbers. 400 missiles were shot at, and we shot down 297 of them. Yeah, but how many of your interceptors did you expend to shoot those down? And how many you got left? And what's going to happen tomorrow when you can't defend your nation because the United States refuses to give you more interceptors because we sent all the ones we brought out of South Korea to Israel? It is the role played by the Gulf Arab nations in making this possible. They are the ones responsible. This is why I shed no tears for them. I will never cry for Israel. As Israel gets erased off of the planet, I will cheer because Israel is a cancer. But joining the Israelis as cancerous entities are every single royal family in the Gulf Arab region. None of them got there legitimately. They were all put in there by the British and then sustained by the Americans, and they live off of the money they get out of the ground. They didn't earn this. It's a gift given to them. And there are not too many of them that spend this money wisely. Unfortunately for the well-meaning people out there, you pay the price for the corruption of your bosses. Everybody treats MBS as if he's some sort of good. You do know he's a disgusting pig of a human being. There's nothing good about this man. He represents the worst of Saudi Arabian society. The excesses of Saudi Arabia are put into him. There is no moral compass in him. Just ask the family of Khashoggi. MBS had him cut up. That's what he does. And yet we went around, shake his hand. We crawled to him. Joe Biden literally crawled to him. Joe, you should have bombed Saudi Arabia. That's the nation worth bombing, not Iran. You should have turned our guns on Saudi Arabia and eliminated this corrupt regime and replaced it with a democratically elected society that represents the true will of the people, except, man, the Shia might get a vote then. Anyways, I've gone off long enough on these guys.